Hi, this is Caroline Bakake again. This is the fastest turnaround that I have ever responded to a video. So I just posted a video on friendship and all those things and about best friends, and immediately I got some questions. In fact, as you can tell, I just took off my jacket and I'm back on. But really thought it's important to answer these questions now when my mind is still focused on this and while people still have some of the questions from what we had talked about. So I got a few questions on best friends and royal betrayal of friendship and all that. So this is what I'm going to say. A best friend, and again, I tell everybody, this is according to me. I'm not God. Each one of you has a choice on who they want to make a best friend. But I'm just going to tell you why. My best friend is my best friend. Or why I believe that my best friend doesn't necessarily have to be my spouse. It could be anybody out of my marriage. I believe that a best friend is somebody who doesn't judge me on what happened yesterday or what happened in the morning or what happened a few minutes ago or what happened last week. And so if I go to my best friend and I'm telling them something, it's not the same as if I'm going to my spouse who I'm probably telling about some issues I'm going through and they're like, oh yeah, thinking in their head, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I remember we had a fight about that last week, so maybe you're on the wrong. Or me coming to my spouse and telling them about a development thing that I want to do, which includes finances, and already they're judging me on the point like, do you even have money for that? Or like, oh yeah, I have the money for that, or we could do this, or maybe we shouldn't do that, we should do this. But if I had gone to my best friend with such a thing, they would not be, first of all, they don't know how much money I have in the bank or something like that, or they're not thinking about me living with them as a spouse and how that would affect anything. So they're just looking at the whole thing like, okay, this is what we know we would do. So that being said, according to me, what I feel like is the best thing for me is I feel that if I went to my best friend, they would be more thoughtful than if I was just talking to my spouse. They would be more thoughtful on the things that they're telling me without judgment or without thinking of what could have happened yesterday or what's going to happen tomorrow. That's why they are my best friend. Honesty. A lot of you women, or a lot of, yeah, and mostly it's women because men really, I haven't had issues with men saying that their best friend should be their wife. A lot of women have said, oh, but my best friend should be my husband. I believe that a best friend is somebody who has to have a lot of honesty in what they tell you. You can go to them and say, do you think I've gained a few pounds here and there? They'll be like, yeah. I'll be like, oh gosh, Caroline, I don't know. What are you doing? Maybe you should slow down or maybe you should eat something or whatever. But if you went to your spouse, whether it's your husband or your wife, and asked them, how do you think I'm doing? And they told you, you know what, I think you've kind of put on a few pounds. I think you need to lose. Then it becomes a fight where you start arguing and you feel, oh my God, they don't think I'm beautiful. No wonder the other day I saw you watching porn or something because I'm not good enough for you or something like that. A lot of judgment goes into that. But a best friend will be very, very honest with you and tell you exactly what they feel. And if you are a good friend too, you will not judge them. If they told you that, you'd be like, oh my God, I know, I need to do that. Sometimes I have to wear my reading glasses to look at these questions. Pardon me. I believe that you should look for a best friend who has knowledge about different issues out there. And that's how it is with my best friends. Like they mentor me, they guide me because they have a lot of knowledge on things that I don't have knowledge of. And they have dealt with different people in different capacities who have been in such situations. So they'll be able to guide me better because they have that knowledge that I'm seeking. So a lot of my insights, even into the mental health that I do, and even into the mission trips that I do, or even into anything else that I do as a business, even my speaking thing, my best friend is. There are people who can really guide me on that, and so they don't necessarily have to be somebody from my house who is basing it on, oh, you're going to speak about this, but yet we can't hold a conversation here, or you're gonna be speaking on this, don't go speak here because there's that person maybe who doesn't like you, this one likes you, things like that. A best friend is like focusing on the topic that you're gonna be talking on and the knowledge that they have on that. um A best friend respects boundaries. Um, each one of us has boundaries that we have set for ourselves, and if you haven't, please do. A best friend will respect those boundaries that you have set. But a spouse, it's sometimes they cross over your boundaries and there's just really nothing you can do about it. You're married to them. So if for you to know who a best friend is, somebody who respects the boundaries that you have set. And I know because some people are always so afraid, oh, if I'm gonna be best friends with a guy, or if your best friend is a guy, and then they get attracted to you, and then they do this. I think people who have shallow minds think about such things. A best friend will always respect your boundaries. And if people talk to you like that, they are not respecting you as a woman, that they can even think like that about you. I believe the women who have chosen to have best friends who are not necessarily their spouse are also women who respect the boundaries that they have set. They understand the true meaning of a best friend. And also the guys who would probably have an issue with their wives having somebody who's a best friend other than them would be something who has an issue with their own self-esteem. I am not saying that married people should be not really good friends. You were crazy about each other. That's why we got married. It's like you both saw each other, you loved each other so much, you got married. If that's not good enough for you, then I don't know what is. And that doesn't mean that because if somebody has a best friend out there that they don't love you or they don't hear you or they're gonna love you any less. You have to understand the meaning of our best friends to understand that it doesn't really jeopardize your home. And if it does, then something is very wrong. And you should take issue with whoever you are married to. Empathy. Empathy is something that, as married couples, we have ups and downs. Anybody who's married knows that it's not always a bliss. Married people have issues that happen every day. So today you love each other, maybe tomorrow you not. Or you love each other every day, and then 1 second or 2 minutes you might not. There's emotions that are involved, there's ups and downs, there's disagreements that are there. So sometimes when you're looking for empathy in a situation, it's probably from somebody who you live with and things have been happening that you require somebody out there to have some empathy on what's happening there and guide you in the right way for it. How do you get that if it's like sleeping with the enemy for most people in their marriages. So how are you going to go to that person and then ask, oh, but you should be the one guiding me on that? No, it's like some people go outside for counseling and you're not going to make your psychiatrist your best friend or your psychologist your best friend. And if you do that, that's fine. But you need somebody who empathizes with the situation that you have without feeling like they have wronged you. There's so many spouses who I talk to and they come to me and they tell me, I went to my significant other and I was talking to them about just this one situation, and then they thought I didn't love them anymore and it went downhill. So again, to me, that's why it's healthy for me to have a best friend who is not my spouse. I do believe that if you are somebody who feels or who gets affected because you feel that the person you're married to has another friend out there who they think is their best friend, and you are overthinking it because you believe that a best friend should be somebody you're married to. People who are married to each other sleep with each other. So your idea of a best friend is somebody who you have to sleep with, not necessarily. And that's why some people get affected when they hear that somebody has a best friend out there, because then they're thinking, oh, they must be sleeping together. No. So I would advise somebody like that to start by loving yourself. If you love yourself and respect yourself, maybe then somebody might see you as a best friend. And that has a lot to do with all of us, as women, as men. You have to love yourself and respect yourself for other people to be attracted to you. I'll tell you an example. I had this one good friend who always told me, Caroline, I don't know what's happening. It's like everybody who I meet as a friend, they don't want to be my friend anymore. My kids don't even want to come home. They are all grown and they want to be out there. And I'm thinking to myself, something is very wrong with you. Like something must be so wrong. You have to search within you. Why are you pushing everybody away? Because let's think about it this way. Beautiful flowers. If you're a beautiful flower and you smell good, then the bees are attracted to you. People are attracted to you. You're a beautiful flower. They want to be around you. You smell good. You look good. And but if you have thorns and you don't really have a good smell, you're gonna, push everything out there. Even animals don't even want to come near you. So if you are this one person has who finds that people don't come to you and you think that there's something wrong with them, you have to search within yourself. Something has to be very wrong with you that you push people away. And so I always start by telling everybody you have to love yourself, you have to respect yourself. And so I talked about a best friend who listens thoughtfully, and they're honest and empathetic, and then they cheer you on. And a best friend is somebody who's going to be there with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. A best friend, you can call them at any time, any hour, and they will not judge you because you don't sleep with them. So you don't have issues with them. You don't live with them. So it's not like they didn't do the dishes and now you're calling them and they don't want to talk to you. But if your best friend is somebody who you're married to and you're really going through something and you have to talk to them that time, and you had just told them to do the dishes and they had not done the dishes, and this is the one time that you really need to talk to somebody, and yet something happened and you guys don't like each other this moment, then it's wrong. So I think to be in a very healthy relationship is it's always good to have that one best friend who you can call any time of the day, any hour. They will not judge. On the other end, they're not thinking of what an awful person you are. They have a neutral feeling about you. They care about you, and they know that you're a successful, good friend who is also a good influence to them. Then you're set. And that is just, again, my own view. For those of you who feel that you're getting that from the person that you're married with and it's working for you, bravo to you. It's all good. And it's very healthy. But I just wanted to answer that because that came up, and again, that's my preference. That's just what I think is healthy for me. I need to be able to reach best friend anytime when I want, any of the day, without thinking, oh well, we just had a fight yesterday, so I can't talk to them right now, but this thing is bugging me. Or with feeling like, you know what, I think I've gained a few pounds, which is actually, guys, it's true, I have. But you know that they will always be like, okay, you gotta get on track here. But if you're sometimes married to somebody, my husband doesn't have a problem with it. I'm from Kenya. It's like my family is so happy now that I look healthy. To them, I don't look healthy when I've lost weight. But no, that's not me. I don't feel good about myself. I want to be healthy, and so I've been doing a lot of running, but that's topic for another day. But what I just wanted to say is there's a lot of people who, as Americans especially, I think with we people from Africa, it's like you have a little meat in yourself. That's good. It's healthy. But I know that here people are so set on like pounds and how many pounds have I gained, or how do I look in my swimsuit, and how do I look in this, and they get more affected than we do. And so when some people is like they fight over that in their relationships, that you've gained weight. And so if your best friend is your husband and he's already looking at you kind of like, I'm not feeling you nowadays because you're like this and like that, how are you going to go to that person and truly expect an honest answer on how you look? But if it was a best friend, whether it's a girl or whether it's another person, they'll be like, honestly, this is what's happening. Because if some people here, if their spouse tell them, there's even a joke like, honey, how do I look in these pants? And they tell you, oh, if you look like you're almost busting out of them, then he's really take it to heart, and it just ruins the guy's whole day. And the guy's like, why did I even say anything? And it becomes a whole new thing. So but your best friend has no personal attachment and things like that, and they honestly tell you what it is, and you will not even be upset about it because no strings attached. So I think that that's how I look at it personally myself. And again, like I said, it's somebody who was always there for you when nobody else was able to be there for you. So that's how I look at it, and I just thought I might put that in there. And you guys, if you have any other questions, you can always ask me.